20 black actors who are gay, then and now 2025. What if the brightest stars of Black Hollywood were hiding stories far deeper than the roles they played? Behind the red carpets and flashing cameras lie secrets of love, courage, and survival that the world was never meant to see. In this video, we reveal the untold journeys of 20 black actors who are gay, exposing how they fought for truth in an industry built on silence. Some shattered barriers, others carried their pain in private, but all changed history. Stay with us, subscribe to Legends of Black Excellence, and join the conversation because what you'll hear next will challenge everything you thought you knew. Tyler Perry. Tyler Perry's journey is one of the most remarkable in the history of modern entertainment. Born on September 13, 1969, in New Orleans, Louisiana, Perry endured a childhood filled with hardship. He grew up in poverty under the shadow of an abusive father and battled feelings of hopelessness that led him to attempt suicide in his youth. Writing became his escape. Inspired by watching an episode of The Oprah Winfrey Show about the therapeutic benefits of journaling, Perry began to write letters to himself, which later evolved into stories and plays that carried messages of faith, redemption, and perseverance. By the early 1990s, Perry risked everything to stage his first play, I Know I've Been Changed. It initially failed, leaving him broke and living out of his car. But his persistence paid off by the late 1990s. Perry's plays were selling out theaters across the South, largely driven by a devoted black church audience. His signature character Medea, a no-nonsense gun-toting grandmother, became a cultural icon. Medea's blend of comedy wisdom and raw honesty catapulted Perry into mainstream recognition. Perry didn't stop with stage plays. He built an empire in film and television, producing blockbuster hits such as Diary of a Mad Black Woman 2005, and creating long-running TV series like House of Pain. In 2019, he opened Tyler Perry Studios in Atlanta, a 330-acre property that made him the first African-American to fully own a major film studio. This milestone placed him in the same league as Hollywood's most powerful moguls, with Forbes estimating his net worth at over $1 billion. But while Perry's professional life soared, his personal life has long been the subject of speculation. Persistent rumors about his sexuality have followed him throughout his career. Critics pointed to his portrayal of Medea and his close friendships within the LGBTQ+ community as reasons to question his identity. Perry, however, has chosen silence. He has never publicly identified as gay, straight, or otherwise, insisting that his private life is not up for public consumption. This refusal to conform to Hollywood's expectations only fueled curiosity, but Perry has consistently redirected attention back to his work and philanthropy. Do you think celebrities like Perry should feel obligated to address rumors about their personal lives, or is privacy a right, even under the spotlight? Beyond the gossip, Perry has used his platform to create opportunities for others. His studio employs hundreds of black creatives, and he has donated millions to disaster relief, COVID-19 aid, and educational initiatives. In 2020, during the height of the pandemic, he paid for groceries for thousands of families in Atlanta and New Orleans. In 2022, he was inducted into the Black Music and Entertainment Walk of Fame, further cementing his legacy as more than just a filmmaker, he is a builder of institutions. Today, Tyler Perry remains a polarizing but undeniably powerful figure. Whether through his art, his business empire, or his refusal to be boxed into anyone's expectations, Perry continues to redefine success in Hollywood. His story is a testament to resilience and vision, a reminder that staying true to yourself, even in silence, can sometimes be the loudest statement of all. Michael K. Williams. Michael Kenneth Williams was one of the most distinctive actors of his generation, leaving behind a body of work that merged vulnerability, strength, and authenticity. Born on November 22, 1966, in Brooklyn, New York, Williams grew up in the Vanderveer housing projects, raised primarily by his mother Paula, who was from Nassau, Bahamas. From a young age, he faced the challenges of poverty and the harsh realities of his neighborhood. Despite these struggles, he discovered an escape through dance and performance. Williams pursued a career as a dancer in the late 1980s and early 1990s, working with icons such as Madonna, George Michael, and Missy Elliott. His life took a dramatic turn at age 25 when he was attacked in a bar fight that left a distinctive scar across his face. What could have been a devastating blow instead became his signature, giving him a look that casting directors found unforgettable. That scar helped land him his breakout role. In 2002, Williams gained international fame as Omar Little in HBO's groundbreaking series, The Wire. Omar was a complex, openly gay stick-up man in Baltimore's drug world, a role that shattered stereotypes of both black men and gay men on television. Williams portrayed Omar with nuance and depth, earning praise from critics and admiration from audiences who saw a new kind of representation on screen. Later, he continued to expand his legacy with standout performances in Boardwalk Empire, 12 Years a Slave, When They See Us, and Lovecraft Country. But Michael's story was more than acting. He lived with deep personal battles, including a long struggle with drug addiction. He was candid about relapsing even during the height of his career, admitting that the same vulnerability he brought to his roles came from his own scars. Rather than hiding it, Williams used his experiences to advocate for criminal justice reform and support young people in marginalized communities. Do you believe actors should be celebrated more for their authenticity and struggles, or only for their polished on-screen performances? Williams also became an outspoken ally for LGBTQ+ rights. Though he never explicitly labeled his own sexuality, his portrayal of queer characters and his openness about their humanity made him a cultural icon in the community. His work on The Wire in particular resonated with viewers who rarely saw such bold representation. Off-screen, he collaborated with nonprofits to help inner-city youth and remained deeply connected to Brooklyn, often mentoring young artists. Tragically, Michael K. Williams passed away on September 6, 2021, at the age of 54, due to an accidental fentanyl-laced heroin overdose. His death was met with an outpouring of grief from fans, fellow actors, and activists who recognized that the world had lost not only a gifted performer, but also a compassionate human being. Today, Williams' legacy lives on in the characters he embodied and the lives he touched. He showed that truth in art often comes from truth in life, that scars, both physical and emotional, can become a source of strength. His work continues to inspire, proving that authenticity is one of the most powerful roles an actor can ever play. Tyrese Gibson. Tyrese Darnell Gibson's story reads like a movie script, one that begins on the tough streets of Watts, California, and evolves into global recognition. Born on December 30, 1978, Tyrese grew up in a single-parent household raised by his mother after his father abandoned the family. Money was scarce, but his determination was boundless. At 16, his life changed when he auditioned for a Coca-Cola commercial. Singing the line, "Always Coca-Cola" on a bus launched his career and gave the world its first taste of his soulful voice. By 1998, he released his self-titled debut album, Tyrese, featuring the breakout hit Sweet Lady, which earned him a Grammy nomination. His mix of R&B vulnerability and vocal power resonated with millions. Throughout the early 2000s, he released successful albums like 2000 Watts and I Wanna Go There, cementing himself as one of the leading voices of contemporary R&B. But Tyrese was not content to remain in music alone. Hollywood came calling, and he transitioned into acting with ease. His first major role was in John Singleton's Baby Boy 2001, where his performance as Jody received critical acclaim. Soon after, he joined blockbuster franchises like Fast and Furious and Transformers, becoming a household name worldwide. Unlike many crossover stars, Tyrese balanced both music and acting, proving his versatility and determination. Still, fame carried its burdens. Tyrese has faced constant public scrutiny, including persistent rumors questioning his sexuality, speculation, fueled partly by his emotional openness, and frequent expressions of love toward male friends. He has repeatedly denied these claims, insisting that his truth lies in his devotion to his career and his role as a father. His daughter Shayla, born in 2007, has remained the center of his world. Do you think vulnerability in men tears openness? Honesty should be celebrated more in entertainment, or does society still unfairly label it as weakness? Behind the spotlight, Tyrese has been transparent about personal struggles. He battled depression and navigated the painful public collapse of his marriage to Norma Mitchell. Later, his second marriage to Samantha Lee ended in divorce in 2020, a heartbreak that played out under media glare. Rather than retreat, Tyrese chose to speak openly about mental health, fatherhood, and healing. His candid posts on social media, while sometimes controversial, also revealed a man unafraid to show his scars. Beyond his artistic career, Tyrese is an author and entrepreneur. His books, including How to Get Out of Your Own Way and Monology, co-written with Reverend Run, delve into self-improvement and relationships. He has also invested in businesses ranging from tech to real estate, demonstrating his desire to build generational wealth. Today, Tyrese stands as a multifaceted figure, a singer-actor, father, and advocate for emotional honesty. His journey reminds us that strength isn't always stoic. It can cry, stumble, and still rise again. Tyrese Gibson continues to inspire by embracing every side of himself, proving that authenticity is as heroic as any blockbuster role. Donnie McClurkin. Donnie McClurkin is one of gospel music's most powerful voices, a man whose songs have uplifted millions, yet whose personal journey has been marked by struggle and contradiction. Born on November 9, 1959, in Amityville, New York, McClurkin grew up surrounded by both music and trauma. As a child, he was sexually abused by relatives, an experience that left deep emotional scars and raised lifelong questions about identity, faith, and belonging. These early wounds shaped both his music and his spiritual walk. McClurkin found solace in church, where his natural gift for singing quickly set him apart. By the 1980s, he was performing with gospel legends like Andrea Crouch and had founded his own group, the McClurkin Singers. His big break came in 1996, when he released his self-titled debut album under Warner Alliance. Songs like Stand and We Fall Down became gospel anthems topping charts and resonating in congregations worldwide. Over the next decades, he collected 3 Grammy Awards, 10 Stellar Awards, and 2 BET Awards, solidifying his status as a gospel legend. Yet behind the accolades was a man wrestling with his truth. McClurkin openly admitted to having experienced same-sex relationships in the past, sparking both controversy and dialogue within the faith community. He later described these experiences as the result of trauma rather than orientation, insisting that he now identifies as heterosexual. His remarks, sometimes suggesting that homosexuality could be overcome through faith, drew backlash from LGBTQ+ advocates, but also reflected the deep tension between his religious convictions and personal history. Can someone be true to both their faith and their identity if those two seem to conflict, or does one always have to give way to the other? Despite these debates, McClurkin has remained a central figure in gospel. His albums, such as Psalms, Hymns, and Spiritual Songs, 2005 and We All Are One, Live in Detroit, 2009, reached audiences far beyond the church, blending contemporary sounds with timeless messages of hope. He became a pastor leading Perfecting Faith Church in Freeport, New York, where he ministered to thousands while continuing to tour internationally. In addition to his musical career, McClurkin has faced significant health challenges. He survived a battle with leukemia and later endured a serious car accident in 2018 that nearly claimed his life. Each setback seemed to deepen his resolve to continue preaching resilience, grace, and faith through both word and song. Today, Donnie McClurkin stands as a complicated but deeply human figure. To his fans, he is a vessel of healing, whose music has given strength in moments of despair. To critics, he represents the ongoing struggle within religious spaces to reconcile sexuality with doctrine. But perhaps McClurkin's true legacy lies in his willingness to speak from his scars, not just his successes, showing that faith is not a straight path, but a journey filled with fractures, doubts, and perseverance. Jamie Foxx. Eric Marlon Bishop, known to the world as Jamie Foxx, is one of the most versatile entertainers of his generation. Born on December 13, 1967 in Terrell, Texas, he grew up in a small town under the care of his grandmother after his parents separated. Music and comedy were his earliest outlets. He began playing piano at 5 and later joined church choirs, honing the skills that would one day carry him onto the world stage. Foxx's career began in stand-up comedy, where his quick wit and ability to mimic voices made him a standout. In the early 1990s, he became a cast member on In Living Color, where he developed his comedic timing and introduced characters that fans still remember today. From there, he created The Jamie Foxx Show, which ran for 5 successful seasons. Yet Foxx's ambition went far beyond comedy. In 2004, he gave a transformative performance as Ray Charles in Ray. His dedication was legendary. He glued his eyes shut to embody the blindness Charles lived with, studied his mannerisms, and even played piano live on set. The role earned him the Academy Award for Best Actor, making him only the 3rd black man in history to win that honor. He also won a Grammy Award for his music career with hits like Blame It and collaborations with Kanye West and Twista. Few entertainers have seamlessly mastered comedy, drama, and music the way Foxx has. Yet for all his public success, his private life has been shrouded in mystery. Foxx has often been the subject of speculation regarding his sexuality, fueled by his long periods of bachelorhood and Hollywood gossip. In 2024, music executive Suge Knight alleged that Foxx was in a relationship with actor Tyron Turner, though both denied the claim. Foxx himself has never addressed such rumors, instead drawing a firm line between his career and his personal life. Do you think stars like Jamie Foxx owe the public explanations about their private lives, or should their art be all that matters? Foxx's high-profile relationships, including a long-rumored romance with actress Katie Holmes, kept tabloids buzzing. Still, he has remained consistent in protecting his family and children from the spotlight, particularly his daughter Corinne, who has built her own career in modeling and television. Beyond Hollywood, Foxx has faced challenges that reminded fans of his humanity. In 2023, he suffered a serious health scare that required hospitalization, sparking global concern. Though details remain private, his recovery and return to the public eye only strengthened his reputation as a resilient survivor. Today, Jamie Foxx continues to captivate audiences, whether through blockbuster films, heartfelt music, or stand-up comedy. His career is proof that talent can defy categorization. But his refusal to conform to Hollywood's demand for total transparency also sends a message: not every truth needs to be spoken aloud. Foxx shows us that silence too can be power, and that sometimes the greatest mystery is what keeps a legend alive. Wanda Sykes. Wanda Yvette Sykes has built a career on truth wrapped in humor. Born on March 7, 1964 in Portsmouth, Virginia, Sykes grew up in a middle-class family. Her father worked for the Pentagon, and her mother was a banker, giving her a disciplined upbringing that seemed worlds away from the comedy stage. After graduating from Hampton University with a degree in marketing, she landed a job at the National Security Agency, NSA. But behind the seriousness of government work, Sykes carried a gift: her razor-sharp wit and ability to dissect everyday absurdities. In the late 1980s, she stepped onto a comedy stage for the first time during a stand-up contest in Washington, D.C. The moment sparked a lifelong calling. By the 1990s, she was writing for The Chris Rock Show, a gig that won her an Emmy Award in 1999. Soon, she became a familiar face on screen with recurring roles in Curb Your Enthusiasm, The New Adventures of Old Christine, and later Blackish. Her voice acting in hits like Ice Age and Over the Hedge further showcased her versatility. But Wanda's boldest moment came not from a script, but from her life. In 2008, at the age of 44, she stood before a crowd at a same-sex marriage rally in Las Vegas and publicly came out as a lesbian. Until then, she had kept her private life guarded, even having been married to a man earlier in life. That year, she married her partner Alex Sykes, a French businesswoman, and in 2009 they welcomed twins Olivia and Lucas. Her announcement made her one of the most visible openly gay black women in Hollywood, inspiring countless others. Do you think comedians have a greater responsibility to push social change? Or should their only goal be to make people laugh? Since coming out, Sykes has used her platform not only for laughs, but for advocacy. She has been a fierce supporter of LGBTQ+ rights, often weaving activism into her comedy routines. Her humor, sharp, fearless, and often political, forces audiences to confront uncomfortable truths about race, sexuality, and gender while still finding the funny. She once quipped that comedy is her weapon. If you can laugh at it, you can deal with it. Her accolades continue to reflect her impact. She was named one of Entertainment Weekly's 25 Funniest People in America and received the Primetime Emmy Award for Outstanding Writing. In 2019, she earned another Emmy nomination for her Netflix special Not Normal, which combined biting humor with commentary on politics and identity. Today, Wanda Sykes stands as more than a comedian. She is a cultural force. She represents courage, visibility, and the transformative power of living authentically. In a world where many still fear coming out, Sykes reminds us that authenticity is not just liberating, it is revolutionary. Through humor and honesty, she has built a legacy that proves laughter can change hearts and even laws. Marsai Martin. Kyla Marsai Martin is not just a rising star, she's a force reshaping Hollywood from the ground up. Born on August 14, 2004 in Plano, Texas, Marsai displayed an early love for performing. Her parents quickly noticed her charisma, enrolling her in modeling and commercial work before she turned 10. At just 9 years old, she landed the role that would change her life. Diane Johnson on ABC's hit sitcom Blackish. From 2014 to 2022, audiences watched her deliver biting one-liners and sharp comedy with wisdom far beyond her years. Her portrayal earned her 9 NAACP Image Awards and several nominations for Screen Actors Guild Awards, cementing her as one of television's brightest young talents. But Marsai was not content to stay in front of the camera. At 14, she made history by becoming the youngest executive producer in Hollywood history, with the 2019 film Little, a project she also starred in alongside Issa Rae and Regina Hall. The movie grossed nearly $50 million worldwide, proving that age is no barrier to leadership. By doing so, she opened the door for more young black creatives to see themselves not only as performers, but also as decision-makers shaping stories. Of course, with early fame came scrutiny. Like many young stars, Marsai found herself at the center of online speculation with gossip about her personal life, including unfounded rumors about her sexuality circulating on social media. Marsai has never addressed such claims, choosing instead to protect her privacy. Instead of letting rumors define her, she has focused her energy on advocacy. She has spoken out in support of inclusivity and equality, standing as a visible ally for the LGBTQ+ community, while reminding fans that no one should be forced to disclose more than they wish. Do you think young stars should address rumors head-on to silence critics, or is it wiser for them to focus solely on their craft and let their work speak for itself? Beyond her groundbreaking producer credit, Marsai co-founded Genius Productions with her parents, creating a platform for telling authentic black stories. Her work extends to voice acting with roles in films like Spirit Untamed, and she has continued to expand her career with both acting and producing projects lined up for the coming years. Marsai has also become a fashion icon and businesswoman, partnering with major brands and appearing on the covers of magazines such as Essence and Teen Vogue. She uses her platform to inspire young people, especially black girls, to dream without limits, often reminding fans that confidence is not about age, but about belief in yourself. Now in 2025, Marsai Martin is only 21 years old, but already has a resume that rivals seasoned Hollywood veterans. She represents a new generation of leadership, one that is unapologetic, visionary, and inclusive. Her story is proof that you don't need to wait for permission to lead. You simply need the courage to believe that you belong. Brandon Kyle Goodman. Brandon Kyle Goodman has become one of the most powerful voices of a new generation of artists, unapologetically blending entertainment with activism. Born and raised in Queens, New York within a deeply religious West Indian family, Goodman's early life was shaped by strict expectations and silence around sexuality. As a young black queer kid, he often felt invisible pressured to conform to a world that didn't reflect or validate his truth. Instead of folding, he decided to fight back with art, words, and authenticity. Goodman's career took off in the world of acting and voice performance. Audiences may recognize him as the voice of Walter in Netflix's hit animated series Big Mouth and its spin-off Human Resources. Walter, a hormone monster representing queer identity, became a fan favorite for his mix of hilarity and heartfelt vulnerability. Goodman infused the role with lived experience, turning what could have been just another animated character into a symbol of queer joy and resilience. But acting was only one part of his journey. Goodman is also a gifted writer and producer. He has worked in writers' rooms for major Netflix shows, using his pen to expand representation and create multidimensional black queer characters who break stereotypes. In 2022, he released his memoir, You Gotta Be You: How to Embrace This Messy Life and Step Into Who You Really Are. The book quickly gained attention for its raw honesty, tackling topics like shame, faith, race, and sexuality. Goodman's words were both personal and political, echoing his belief that storytelling has the power to heal and liberate. Do you believe entertainment should remain an escape from politics? Or is it vital for art to reflect the real struggles of identity, race, and love beyond Hollywood? Goodman has emerged as a leading activist. During the height of the Black Lives Matter protests in 2020, his Instagram videos went viral. In them, he shared emotional, unfiltered reflections on being black queer and exhausted by systemic racism. His words resonated with millions, earning him recognition as both a cultural commentator and a community leader. Instead of being silenced by fear, Goodman transformed pain into visibility. He has also been outspoken about intersectionality, a subject often overlooked in mainstream conversations. As a black queer man, Goodman highlights how overlapping identities create unique struggles, whether in Hollywood, where roles for queer black actors remain scarce, or in everyday life, where acceptance is often conditional. He uses his platform to remind audiences that no one should have to choose which part of themselves to hide. Now, in 2025, Goodman continues to balance art and advocacy. His performances and writings celebrate self-love while challenging outdated norms. He represents a generation that refuses to separate entertainment from truth, showing that laughter, activism, and vulnerability can exist in the same space. Brandon Kyle Goodman's legacy and progress proves that when marginalized voices are amplified, culture shifts. His journey reminds us that embracing who you are loudly, unapologetically, and without compromise is not just an act of survival, but a revolution. Tika Sumpter. Euphemia Latika Tika Sumpter has built her career with quiet determination and unshakable grace. Born on June 20, 1980 in Queens, New York, she began her professional life not as an actress, but as a model and TV host. Early gigs included working on BET's Best Friend's Date, where her natural charm and camera presence stood out. Yet Tika had bigger dreams, ones that soon placed her on the path to becoming one of Hollywood's most respected actresses. Her breakout role came in 2005 when she joined the long-running soap opera One Life to Live as Layla Williamson. For 4 years, she played the role with depth and relatability, gaining a loyal fan base. From there, she transitioned into film, appearing in projects like Stomp the Yard, Homecoming 2010, and Think Like a Man 2012. But her career reached new heights when she portrayed a young Michelle Obama in the 2016 biographical drama South Side with You. Critics praised her ability to capture the future First Lady's intelligence, warmth, and poise. The performance cemented Sumpter's reputation as an actress capable of embodying layered, complex women. As her career soared, whispers about her personal life began to circulate. Rumors about her sexuality occasionally surfaced online, fueled more by curiosity than evidence. Unlike many of her peers, Tika never indulged the speculation. She chose silence not as denial, but as a boundary. For her privacy has always been a form of empowerment. Instead of allowing gossip to overshadow her work, she invested in projects that uplifted Black stories and characters often underrepresented in Hollywood. Do you think celebrities owe their fans complete transparency, or is it stronger to draw the line and protect their personal lives? Away from the spotlight. Tika found love with actor Nicholas James, her co-star from the OWN drama The Haves and the Have-Nots. Their relationship, once kept quiet, blossomed publicly when they welcomed their daughter Ella Lauren in 2016. By 2022, the two were married in a beautiful ceremony in Cabo San Lucas, a celebration focused on love rather than publicity. Beyond acting, Sumter has branched into producing co-founding Sugarberry, a lifestyle brand that creates safe spaces for Black women to discuss motherhood, career, and self-care. Her dedication to building communities off-screen mirrors her strength on-screen, both rooted in authenticity and representation. In recent years, she has continued to appear in films like Ride Along and Sonic the Hedgehog, while also lending her voice to activism. She supports causes promoting equality and representation in Hollywood, using her platform thoughtfully rather than loudly. Now in 2025, Tika Sumter stands as a reminder that influence doesn't always come from headlines. Sometimes it comes from consistency, presence, and a refusal to let others define your story. Her career reflects a balance between ambition and integrity, while her personal choices remind us that true power lies not in constant exposure, but in knowing when to stay silent. Colman Domingo. Colman Jason Domingo is one of Hollywood's rare chameleons, an actor, playwright, director, and activist whose life reflects resilience and authenticity. Born on April 28, 1969 in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, Domingo was raised in a working-class family with Caribbean roots. His journey into the arts wasn't straightforward. He studied journalism at Temple University before moving to San Francisco to pursue theater, where he discovered his true passion. From small stages to international recognition, his career reflects persistence and a refusal to compromise identity. Domingo's first years in entertainment were spent in theater. His one-man shows like A Boy and His Soul combined music memory and family history, earning acclaim for their raw honesty. He later appeared on Broadway in Passing Strange and the Tony-winning musical The Scottsboro Boys. Each performance revealed his unique ability to infuse characters with both gravity and humanity. Television and film soon followed. Domingo became widely known for his role as Victor Strand in AMC's Fear the Walking Dead, where his commanding presence captivated audiences. But perhaps his most lauded television performance came in HBO's Euphoria, where he portrayed Ali, a recovering addict who mentors Zendaya's character Rue. For this role, he won the Primetime Emmy Award for Outstanding Guest Actor in a Drama Series in 2022. His film work includes If Beale Street Could Talk, Selma Ma Rainey's Black Bottom, and most recently, his Oscar-nominated portrayal of civil rights leader Bayard Rustin in Rustin 2023. While many actors hide behind roles, Domingo has always been transparent about his life. He is openly gay and proudly married to his husband Raul Octan Domingo, whom he met through a Craigslist ad in 2005. The couple wed in 2014 and have become a symbol of enduring queer love in Hollywood. Domingo's openness stands in contrast to an industry that often pressures Black men to suppress their identities for marketability. Do you believe Hollywood has truly evolved to embrace queer Black actors? Or are the barriers still very much present beneath the surface? Domingo's contributions extend beyond acting. He is a celebrated playwright and director with works such as Dot and Summer, the Donna Summer musical, where he brought his perspective as a Black gay man into storytelling spaces often dominated by others. His upcoming directorial projects include a biopic on jazz legend Nat King Cole, proving his dedication to preserving Black cultural history. Off-screen, Domingo uses his voice to advocate for LGBTQ+ rights, racial equity, and representation in the arts. He is a mentor to young artists, frequently reminding them that authenticity is not only possible, but necessary. His speeches and interviews often emphasize that living fully in one's truth is a radical act in itself. As of 2025, Colman Domingo is not just an actor at the height of his career, he is a cultural force. His life demonstrates that success doesn't come from hiding, but from embracing every part of yourself. In doing so, he has changed the narrative of what it means to be both black and queer in Hollywood, carving a path for others to follow. Kevin Aviance. Kevin Aviance is more than a performer. He is an icon of resilience, artistry, and unapologetic queer expression. Born on June 22, 1968 in Richmond, Virginia, Aviance grew up in a large Catholic family as the youngest of 8 children. From an early age, he gravitated toward creativity, music, and dance, developing the bold personality that would later define his career. At 18, he moved to Washington, D.C., immersing himself in the underground drag and ballroom scenes before relocating to New York City, where his legend truly began. Standing at over 6 feet tall and often performing in towering heels, dazzling costumes, and avant-garde makeup, Aviance became a dominant presence in New York's nightlife of the 1990s. He joined the House of Aviance, one of the most influential ballroom houses where his performances fused fashion, dance, and theater into unforgettable spectacles. His style was fearless, combining elements of drag, voguing, and performance art in ways that blurred the line between club culture and high art. Aviance's music career took off in the mid-1990s with the release of Cunty 1996 and later hits like Din Da Da and Alive. His tracks dominated dance clubs and reached the Billboard Dance Club Songs chart, making him a staple of queer nightlife not just in New York, but worldwide. His song Alive became a post-9/11 anthem of survival and hope, showcasing his ability to turn pain into empowerment through music. In 2006, tragedy struck. Aviance was the victim of a brutal hate crime attacked by a group of men who left him with multiple fractures and lasting injuries. Instead of letting the assault silence him, Aviance returned to the stage after months of recovery, defiantly declaring that no one could dim his light. His resilience turned him into a symbol of survival for LGBTQ+ communities across the globe. Do you believe acts of resilience in the face of hate should be remembered as loudly as an artist's performances, or does the industry focus too much on glamour over struggle? Kevin Aviance's influence extends beyond music and nightlife. He has collaborated with designers like Thierry Mugler and has been celebrated in documentaries highlighting the Black and Latinx ballroom community that birthed voguing and inspired mainstream culture. Younger artists, from RuPaul's Drag Race contestants to queer musicians, cite Aviance as a pioneer who opened doors for unapologetic queer performance art. In 2023, Aviance's legacy found new recognition when Beyoncé sampled his voice on her Grammy-winning Renaissance album, directly linking his contributions to the mainstream resurgence of house and ballroom culture. The moment reintroduced him to a younger generation and solidified his place as a cultural bridge between underground queer artistry and global pop music. Now in 2025, Kevin Aviance continues to perform, inspire, and thrive. His life story embodies survival, creativity, and community. He remains a reminder that queer Black artists have always shaped culture not from the margins, but from the center of innovation. Aviance's flame has never been extinguished. In fact, it burns brighter than ever. Jeffrey Bowyer Chapman. Jeffrey Bowyer Chapman's journey from small-town beginnings to international recognition embodies both the struggles and triumphs of being Black and queer in entertainment. Born on October 21, 1984 in Edmonton, Alberta, Canada, and adopted into a mixed-race family, Jeffrey grew up navigating questions of identity from an early age. Raised in the small town of Rimbey, Alberta, he often felt like an outsider too. Black in predominantly white spaces, too queer in environments that didn't yet have room for his truth. Instead of shrinking, he turned those challenges into fuel for a career defined by representation. Bowyer Chapman began as a model traveling internationally in his teens. His striking looks landed him fashion work, but his ambitions extended beyond the runway. By his early 20s, he had transitioned into acting, earning roles in film and television. His breakthrough came with the Lifetime series Unreal 2015-2018, where he played Jay, a reality TV producer navigating power, identity, and survival. The character, openly gay and unapologetically ambitious, mirrored parts of Jeffrey's own story and gave audiences one of the few nuanced portrayals of a queer black man on television at the time. His visibility grew in 2020 when he joined the judging panel of Canada's Drag Race. As an openly gay black man, his presence was groundbreaking, offering representation in a franchise built on queer artistry. However, visibility came at a cost. Bowyer Chapman endured a wave of racist and homophobic backlash online. The abuse became so toxic that he eventually stepped away from the show, a move that sparked conversations about how even in LGBTQ+ spaces, intersectionality is often overlooked. Do you think social media has done more to amplify diverse voices, or has it created more harm by giving hate a louder platform? Despite these challenges, Bowyer Chapman has remained a steadfast advocate for equality. He has spoken openly about the importance of self-love, visibility, and the need to create safer spaces for queer people of color. His honesty about the toll of online abuse has resonated with fans who see in him both strength and vulnerability. Beyond activism, Jeffrey's acting career has continued to flourish. He has appeared in projects like American Horror Story Apocalypse Doom Patrol and Falling Skies. His performances often carry a quiet intensity marked by the authenticity he brings to each role. Off-screen, he has also worked as a podcast host, creating platforms for conversations about identity, spirituality, and personal growth. Now in 2025, Jeffrey Bowyer Chapman stands as both a survivor and a trailblazer. His willingness to navigate an industry and a society that often resists intersectional identities has made him a role model for countless young people. He reminds us that representation is not just about being seen, but about being understood, respected, and celebrated. Jeffrey's legacy is still unfolding, but one thing is certain: his story proves that authenticity, even in the face of cruelty, can light the way for others who are quietly gathering the courage to live out loud. Jeremy Pope. Jeremy Pope's rise in Hollywood is nothing short of historic. Born on July 9, 1992 in Orlando, Florida, Pope grew up with a love for the arts, nurtured by a strong family foundation. After high school, he attended the American Musical and Dramatic Academy in New York City, determined to carve a place for himself in an industry where black queer men were rarely given space to shine. His ambition, talent, and fearlessness quickly set him apart. Pope first made his mark on Broadway, and in 2019, he accomplished something nearly unheard of. He earned 2 Tony Award nominations in the same year. One was for his role in Choir Boy, where he portrayed a young black gay student searching for acceptance in an all-boys prep school. The second was for Ain't Too Proud: The Life and Times of the Temptations, where he embodied the soul and complexity of Eddie Kendricks. These achievements made him only the 6th person in history to receive 2 acting nominations in one season, cementing his status as a theater powerhouse. His success on stage opened the doors to Hollywood. In 2020, Pope starred in Ryan Murphy's Netflix series Hollywood, playing Archie Coleman, a gay black screenwriter trying to navigate an industry built to erase people like him. The role resonated deeply with audiences and critics alike, earning him an Emmy nomination. It wasn't just acting, it was lived truth poured onto the screen, a rare moment when fiction reflected the harsh realities faced by countless queer artists of color. Do you think Hollywood is finally making room for authentic stories of queer black talent? Or are these moments still too rare to signal real change? Beyond acting, Pope has emerged as a singer and activist. His smooth tenor and songwriting ability have drawn praise, with his single New Love showcasing his versatility beyond the stage. Off-screen, he uses his voice to advocate for inclusion, speaking candidly about the challenges of navigating an industry that often sees race and sexuality as barriers rather than assets. In film, he continued to push boundaries. In 2022, Pope starred in The Inspection, a powerful drama based on director Elegance Bratton's real-life experience as a young gay black man joining the Marines. The performance earned Pope critical acclaim and a Golden Globe nomination for Best Actor in a Motion Picture Drama, making him one of the few openly gay black actors to achieve such recognition. As of 2025, Jeremy Pope stands as both an artist and an advocate. He represents a generation unafraid to embrace every aspect of identity, race, sexuality, creativity, and turn it into strength. His journey shows that representation is not just about visibility, but about excellence, creating work so powerful that it can no longer be ignored. Jeremy Pope is not just building a career, he's building bridges between Broadway and Hollywood, between authenticity and artistry, and between those still silenced and the world that is finally beginning to listen. Karamo Brown. Karamo Kariga Brown's life has been one of firsts, breakthroughs, and healing journeys. Born on November 2, 1980 in Houston, Texas, and raised in a religious Jamaican-Cuban household, Brown faced challenges from an early age. At 15, he came out as gay to his parents, a courageous act in the mid-1990s when visibility for queer black men was virtually non-existent. While his truth caused friction at home, it became the foundation of his life's mission to live authentically and empower others to do the same. Brown's first brush with fame came in 2004 when he joined MTV's The Real World Philadelphia. His appearance was groundbreaking. He became the first openly gay black man on reality television. At a time when few LGBTQ+ stories were told on mainstream platforms, his presence was both revolutionary and controversial. Karamo used that visibility not as a burden, but as an opportunity to start conversations about race, sexuality, and acceptance. After The Real World, his career path was far from linear. Brown worked in social services, serving as a licensed social worker and counselor, where he focused on supporting LGBTQ+ youth and families. His personal life also took an unexpected turn in 2007 when he discovered that he had an 11-year-old son, Jason, from a previous relationship. He gained full custody and later welcomed Jason's half-brother, Christian, into his home, building a family while balancing advocacy and career pursuits. In 2018, Brown re-emerged in the spotlight as the culture expert on Netflix's reboot of Queer Eye. With compassion, vulnerability, and wisdom, he helped participants confront issues of identity, confidence, and emotional wounds. His role was more than makeover television. It was a platform for healing and empowerment. Through Queer Eye, Karamo became a household name, inspiring millions with his blend of empathy and strength. Do you think reality TV should focus more on transforming appearances or on deeper emotional journeys like the ones Karamo guides people through off-screen? Brown has become an influential author and speaker. His memoir, Karamo: My Story of Embracing Purpose, Healing, and Hope, 2019, detailed his struggles and triumphs from coming out to fatherhood and beyond. He also co-authored the children's book I Am Perfectly Designed with his son Jason, teaching kids the value of self-love and acceptance from an early age. Brown has openly discussed his battles with depression and the importance of mental health within the Black and LGBTQ+ communities. By sharing his vulnerability, he has dismantled stereotypes of Black masculinity and inspired conversations around topics that are often silenced. His activism continues to bridge the worlds of entertainment, social justice, and community empowerment. Now in 2025, Karamo Brown stands as more than a television personality. He is a cultural leader. From breaking barriers on MTV to guiding lives on Queer Eye, his journey is proof that authenticity can change not only one's own life, but also the lives of millions watching. His story remains a beacon of courage, representation, and transformation. Daryl Stevens. Daryl Stevens has long been a quiet revolutionary in Hollywood, using his craft to bring visibility to lives often overlooked. Born on March 7, 1974, in Pasadena, California, Stevens was raised in a family that valued education and creativity. After high school, he attended the University of California, Berkeley, where he studied sociology and ethnic studies, fields that sharpened his understanding of identity, culture, and representation. Those studies would later inform the roles he chose and the stories he told. Stevens began his acting career in the late 1990s, appearing in small television roles and independent films. But his breakthrough came in 2005 with the debut of Noah's Ark on the Logo Network. The show was historic. It was the first American television series centered on the lives of Black gay men. Stevens played Noah Nicholson, a stylish, sensitive screenwriter, navigating love, friendship, and professional challenges. For many viewers, it was the first time they saw reflections of themselves on television, making Stevens not only an actor, but a cultural trailblazer. Though Noah's Ark lasted just 2 seasons, and a feature film, Noah's Ark Jumping the Broom, in 2008, its impact was profound. Fans worldwide praised Stevens for bringing Noah to life with warmth, authenticity, and vulnerability. The show became a cornerstone of queer Black representation, paving the way for more inclusive storytelling in later years. After Noah's Ark, Stevens continued to work in television and film with roles in B-Positive 20s and Lovecraft Country. He also appeared on stage, showcasing his versatility as both a comedic and dramatic actor. Yet his influence extended far beyond acting. Stevens became a published author, writing Required Reading 2010 and later Indigo Blues 2011 works that explored themes of race, love, and identity from a deeply personal perspective. Do you think shows like Noah's Ark would be embraced more widely in today's streaming era? Or is mainstream Hollywood still hesitant to center queer Black stories? Beyond his creative work, Stevens has been an outspoken advocate for LGBTQ+ visibility, particularly for Black queer men. He has written essays and spoken in interviews about the challenges of working in an industry where roles for openly gay Black actors remain limited. Rather than hide his identity to fit Hollywood's mold, Stevens chose authenticity, inspiring younger artists to do the same. In recent years, he has expanded his role as a mentor and community voice, encouraging queer creatives of color to claim space in storytelling. While he may not chase fame with the same intensity as some of his peers, Stevens' career demonstrates the power of consistency, truth, and representation. Now, in 2025, Daryl Stevens remains a respected figure whose influence is felt not only on screen, but in the broader cultural conversation about identity and inclusion. His legacy lies in showing that visibility is not just entertainment, it is survival, affirmation, and revolution. By choosing roles that reflect real lives, Stevens continues to prove that stories, when told authentically, can change the world. Jared Carmichael. Jared Carmichael is one of comedy's boldest truth-tellers, a man who uses humor not just to entertain, but to expose hidden realities. Born on April 6, 1987, in Winston-Salem, North Carolina, Carmichael grew up in a working-class, deeply religious Black household. His upbringing instilled in him a sense of discipline and faith, but it also left him carrying unspoken questions about identity. As a teenager, comedy became his outlet, a way to process the contradictions of life and turn pain into laughter. At 20, with just $200 to his name, Carmichael moved to Los Angeles to pursue stand-up. He hustled through open mics until his sharp observational humor caught attention. By 2014, he was starring in his first HBO special, Love at the Store, directed by Spike Lee. 2 years later, he created and headlined The Carmichael Show on NBC, a sitcom praised for its fearless approach to topics like racism, gun violence, and police brutality. For many, it was the heir to shows like All in the Family, unafraid to spark debate while still landing the laughs. Carmichael's comedy was always rooted in honesty, but behind the jokes, he carried a deeper truth. In 2022, during his HBO special, Rothaniel, he came out publicly as gay. Sitting in a small jazz club, Carmichael delivered not a routine but a confession, weaving humor with raw vulnerability. The moment was seismic. Rarely had a black male comedian of his stature spoken so openly about sexuality on such a platform. His bravery earned him a Primetime Emmy Award for Outstanding Writing for a Variety special, further cementing his place in history. Do you think comedy is the safest space for honesty, or does it take even more courage to strip away the jokes and reveal the truth behind the laughter? The aftermath of his coming out was both liberating and painful. Carmichael revealed that his mother, the person he had once trusted most, stopped speaking to him after he shared his truth. That fracture highlighted the cost of authenticity, even in families bound by love and faith. Yet Carmichael refused to retreat. Instead, he leaned into his vulnerability, using it as material to create art that was raw, real, and transformative. In 2023, he hosted the Golden Globe Awards, where he addressed Hollywood's lack of diversity with sharp wit balancing comedy and critique. His presence signaled not just his growth as a comedian, but as a cultural commentator unafraid to challenge institutions. Beyond comedy, he has also appeared in films like Neighbors, Transformers, The Last Night, and On the Count of Three, the latter of which he directed and starred in, showcasing his growing talent as a filmmaker. Now, in 2025, Jared Carmichael stands as a groundbreaking voice in entertainment. His career reminds us that comedy is not just about punchlines, it is about courage, connection, and truth. By daring to speak the words he once feared, Carmichael has redefined what it means to be both a comedian and a man, proving that silence may keep you safe, but honesty sets you free. The journeys of these 20 black actors remind us that authenticity comes with both triumph and sacrifice. From groundbreaking visibility to battles against silence and stigma, their stories prove that truth is never simple, yet always powerful. But the question remains, should celebrities be expected to reveal their personal identities to inspire others, or do they have the right to guard their privacy in a world that demands too much? At Legends of Black Excellence, we invite you to share your thoughts. Does representation require full transparency, or is their art alone enough to change the world?